10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the fun.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode, everyone. My name is Zain. Don't ask why, just put an I. And with me this week is Amina.
Hello.
And Samrah.
Hey.
Hello, guys. How's everything? Do you like how breathy I am?
No.
So
yeah, I don't know
breathy.
why. Don't say breathy. Your esophagus issues come forward into my into light. No, it's just been busy times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of. I know you've been moving around. That's a lot of work right there.
Yeah, I just moved again. Long story short, we built a house last year, or we moved into a house we built to last year, and then now we moved out of what we built. Now we're living with the in-laws, and yeah, that's my situation.
Oh, nice. Are you liking the new place?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'm living with my in-laws right now.
Okay. Right. I mean,
such an awkward question. So you like the new place? It's like,
do you like the new place? I mean, that's
there was such a big pause, and it was like, yeah, I mean, but Samrah in such an awkward position. She's like, oh yeah,
yeah. I guess it's good. Hey, I mean, that's all I wanted to hear.
What's she gonna say? No, it's terrible.
Hey, sometimes you got to be honest. Sometimes, but it's all good. All right, cool. Not you.
No, I mean, it's all good, I guess.
It's all good.
Not you. Listen. I mean, here's how I look at this. It really helps a lot with my coffee pots and steamers that I have.
Yeah, I mean, look, she gets meals made for her, and her child.
Well, you just gave it away.
Wow.
Her Jaya gets. You didn't let me finish. I went Jaya.
No, you didn't.
Gets made, and that's it.
You didn't do that.
Damn it. We're bound to crack anyway.
Yeah, I was bound. It was bound to come out.
Literally, she's cried on... There's been recording of her crying very loudly.
Very audibly.
Yeah, there's no way we could call it a teapot blowing.
That's why I was saying my steamers and my coffee pots.
I literally was just thinking of actual steamers and coffee pots. I was like, yeah, sure. And
what do you mean by that?
I was like, I guess all your appliances could go to your mother-in-law.
Well then.
Oh god. Anyway, not you. How was your couple weeks spent so far?
I went to Mohican. No, sorry. I went to Foxwoods with you guys yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
I gambled.
We made $15.
No, he made $15. He gave me 7 of it because I helped him.
Wow. Okay, you split it.
But I put down 40. Got over 100, and then I lost part of it.
That's what you call greed.
I would have stopped. It was the beginning of the night, though. To my defense, it was like right in the beginning of the night, and you don't usually call it at the beginning of the night, you know?
Oh, I call it. If I made like double what I put in, I call. That's it.
I'm
done.
Even Sabina was like, I get it. It was the beginning of the night. You just started. It was like 5 minutes in. I got to 100, and I was like, I kept playing. At least I didn't lose my money. I still had 15 above what I put in.
I would have stopped.
Yeah, I know.
To the shop.
Well, now I know it's
something. And bought something.
It's a learning. It's a learning curve. Now I won't ever do that.
I guess.
I'll stop. I mean, it's fine. I didn't lose any money.
No, yeah. As long as you break even or better, that's good in my books. That's a good night spent in a casino.
I tried my best.
Yeah, it's all good.
I look like a real Gambler.
Your get up yesterday was pretty. You look like a straight up like you're about to join a poker room and like school everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see. Obviously, I wasn't there, ladies and gentlemen. I missed out on the fun. However, because my chai pot. Anyways, that's not why I actually missed out. But that's not the point. Listen, I did see a Snapchat of you, Amina, and you were wearing this baseball cap. Why?
I was wearing an all black. It was like a Yankees cap, but it was black, and the Yankees logo was dark black, like blacker, and it looked very sleek. And I was wearing your black velvet shirt you gave me.
Why would you wear a black baseball cap with a nice shirt like that?
It looked good. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, Samrah, I look styling. I look like I was ready to hit the tables.
Yeah,
Styling
but
and profiling.
should have worn like just a plain black T-shirt, then not like the black.
I don't have a plain black. No, it looked good. You really couldn't tell it was velvet until you came up to it close. Honestly, and the hat was pretty sleek. So it I don't know. That's kind of in right now, the baseball hat.
The baseball hat, but I like the way you cocked this baseball hat to the front of your face, so you're so you can't see the face, and you're just always just playing the game like that.
Yeah, and you can only see the lips, the red lips peeking through, and then you look up, and then you just see shame in my eyes.
If only you had like a black aviators, it would have brought the whole outfit together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, we made $15. I was playing video poker, and I was about to lose, and then it was because of Amina that was like, no, we can do this. I don't even know what it was. It was like
no, it's because you wanted to I was hit the hearts.
Yeah,
you wanted to do something else.
Whatever.
I said you wanted to you wanted to keep the fives, and I said there are more of a chance of you getting another heart. 1/12 of a chance of getting a heart than 450 seconds of getting a 5. So
yeah.
My chances were correct, and we got all hearts, and he won. You were at $5, and you went up to 35.
Yeah.
So you won a lot of money.
Yeah. So it was good. It was it basically covered the ATM fee and and I broke even. So it was good. It was good. It was productive. I made $1. I gained $1 out of all of that, so it was good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It is.
No. Yeah, I mean, no, my week has been, or my couple weeks has been pretty good. I mean, yeah, we went to the casino yesterday, but it was, I've been watching a lot of movies because it's been the summer, so I've been kind of wanting to stay out in the city longer after work. So I've been watching a bunch of weird indie films and everything. I've been I don't even know the guy's name, but there was this weird movie that I saw called Sorry to Bother You, which is basically the guy. He's a very poor dude. He gets a job at a call center, and he finds a secret to becoming the best call center employee ever. And it kind of gets, that's all I can say, because after that it gets so crazy and so zany, and I can't even it goes to all weird places that you can't even predict the movie. It goes to so many different little I don't even know, stories and different scenarios. You're holy crap. But it was a very good movie. But it took a couple of days to kind of I gotta digest the movie because it was just so much at once. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. Just kind of a lot of movies, a lot of food. Pretty basic,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really good. A good, flick.
Yeah, good flick. Yeah, and I mean, that also includes Ant-Man and all those other movies that came out in the past couple of weeks. So it was pretty productive, pretty cool, pretty fun.
Yeah, awesome.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And because we're on the topic of movies, we should also say that we're on a Bollywood breakdown.
Oh.
We're doing another Bollywood breakdown. If you can't tell by the title of this episode, anyway.
Bollywood breakdown. Okay, I did my introduction to it.
You should take it away, Samrah. This is you.
Well, you know what? Now that I'm actually the one, guys. It's my turn this week. Amina's been doing it the past 2 weeks, and she's been doing a phenomenal job of being very, very detailed about the movies to the point where towards the end, I'm like, "See you later."
Whatever, they're popular. They're popular.
They are.
Look, actually did a very detailed thing of the movie we're doing, but I was like, Summer, you take it over today because you know what, my
Wait.
Yeah, I didn't
Sorry,
have a single.
yeah, sorry,
I'm
Amina, you were a little out of that one.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better. I think I don't know what you did, but you
Maybe
were
I
a little
turned my
out there.
face.
So yeah, don't turn your face. So what happened?
I was saying that I had taken notes on this movie, and I was decided that Summer, you should do it
Yeah,
because my voice is getting scratchy, and then I went and that was my reference to Hum Aapke Hain Kaun.
Well, guys, let's leave.
Out, guys.
I didn't mean to do that on purpose, but that was like actual cough. Anyways, so let's talk about this. This is a classic Bollywood movie. It came out in '94, massive hit. I mean, huge. It's also one of the most I think this
highest grossing
movie, no, not highest grossing ever, but it was massive. Actually, it may have become one of the highest grossing Bollywood films. I'm not 100% sure on that. It's something we can look into. However, I can say this, that this movie did have, I think, is one of the movies that has the largest number of songs in it.
Like it
Bollywood movies. Yeah, so I think if I remember correctly, there are a total of 14 songs.
Yeah, that's why it's so damn long.
Like 6, 7, averaging 6, 7. This has 14,
and they're all great.
And they're all great songs. Like they were amazing songs. So this was, I have to say, probably if not my favorite, one of my favorite movies.
I wanted to say that too because I was supposed to do this a couple weeks ago with Qasim and Zain, and I didn't because I said I don't feel good doing it if Samrah is not even on the podcast because this is her favorite movie.
Yeah, it's literally, I think, probably the movie that I've seen the most. I don't know if I've seen this one or Hum Saath Saath Hai. By the way, both movies have been made by the same production company and directors and all of that. So it is, I don't know which one I've seen.
Rajshri, right?
Yeah, Rajshri.
Yeah, Rajshri Productions.
Yeah, Rajshri Productions. Directed by Suraj Bhardatia, and anybody that knows him knows that he did Maine Pyar Kiya, another classic. Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, and many others. Hum Saath Saath Hai and
Viva.
It also says here that it was the first Hindi film to gross over 1 billion rupees. Yeah. And it became the highest grossing Bollywood film at the time, for sure.
Yeah. So it was massive. But the reason why is because of the storyline. Let's go into it. It starts. You start the movie. Well, see, our versions back then, I don't think it was supposed to be black and white, but, video cassettes, you know what I'm saying, people? It was kind of black and white. So, this part of the movie, I guess you could say. And it's literally just, by the way, this movie stars Salman Khan as Prem and Madhuri as Nisha. And it's literally faces of Madhuri and Salman Khan singing a song. The title track to the movie, which is Hum Aapke Hain Kaun.
Hum aapke hain kaun.
And then Madhuri goes, Hum aapke hain kaun.
That's literally it. I watched it the other day, and that's pretty much spot on.
Hum aapke hain kaun.
Yep, and then it goes, Pigeon hai. I mean, I can tell you.
I'm so immersed right now; it's not even funny. I
know,
feel like I'm watching the movie right now.
It's the first time I'm on this side of the Bollywood breakdown.
And then okay, so then it goes into, you got the title song done, right? It goes straight into this massive, I'm talking about like mansion of a home. It's where Brim, his brother, elder brother Rajesh, played by the ever grateful Monish Bal, and his uncle Galashnath, played by the one and only Aloknath.
Oh my god, his name is not.
His name in real life is Aloknath, but in the movie it's Galashnath.
Oh, I knew it was Kailash. I didn't know it was Kailash Nath, like a Loknath. But he's been in the last movie we were in, right? He was a part of this. Yeah,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in Bardes. However, his character in Bardes, like Amna said, was a little bit more of a tool. His
like a
character in
terrible
this
father.
is great. He's a great guy in this movie. But so it starts, and they're all sitting there talking. They are very well off, very wealthy people, and you find out that this is Galashnath is actually their uncle in this scene. They find out, they have there's two boys. They Prem and Raj. Okay. So yeah, so then there it starts, and they're in their home, and they're doing work or whatnot. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna just stop right here and just say I'm not extremely detailed and takes notes. I am literally going off of this with memory of how the movie goes. Um
We
so
all
it's
have our
gonna be a
different
little.
styles.
Yeah, we all have our different styles. I've seen this movie so many times that I actually didn't feel like I needed to see it again for the Bollywood breakdown. And
It's so funny because I'm literally opened up to a journal article of a oh my god, a scientist talking about Hum Aapke Hain Kaun as their thesis.
it's
That's how.
very profound. Let's just put it like this, people. Not very many movies can keep me crying every single time I've seen it, and I've seen this movie about 200 times, and I'm telling you, I cry each and every single time.
She does.
Anyways, so it starts off, and you find out that okay, they're really good boys. They take care of, they help their uncle with their whatever billionaire work he does, and find out that their parents died when he was really young. So they're trying to find the older brother Rajesh. They're trying to get him married.
It happened so quick.
This part happens very quick because they're trying to get to like the real storyline here, which happens like 3 hours later into the movie, anyways. But the point is,
I don't know why they went so quick with
they went
this.
real quick on this end. So they go, but so then they
Person comes, like their friend comes over, and they're like, "I
their
have a
friend
girl for
comes,
you."
yeah, exactly. Their friend comes over, and he's like, they're like talking, like, we want to get him married, and he's like, well, I know this guy, and he has beautiful girls, and blah blah blah, and we can, and so it's like, well, who is this person? And it's this guy named Professor Siddharth Chaudhry, played by the ever great Anupam Kher. And then the uncle, Galashnath, is like, wait a minute, I know him. We went to school together.
We were
And
good friends.
yeah, we were good friends. We all went, we went to school together. And it's like, oh my God, you know each other. Woohoo! And
Let's get this going
yeah,
then.
they're like, how do we get Rajesh to this place? Now they are currently vacationing, the girl's family or whatnot in this like I want to say it's like uh, what's the best way to kind of describe it?
It looks like a mandir, but like a dorm,
Yeah, it's like a mandir,
Mandir
but
dorm?
no,
like a
it's like
hostel.
no, it kind of looks like a bunch of things at once, but obviously it was a set. So they were like kind of doing like a pilgrim, like a small pilgrimage of some sort. And you go to this place and you live there and you do this pilgrimage at this mandir. That's the best way I can describe it. So that's where the Anupam Kher, Siddharth Chaudhary, that's where he is currently located. So they're like, that's where he is. How do we get there? So they're like, don't worry, we will get everybody there by just saying,
That they too are on a
yeah,
pilgrimage,
that they too are gonna go do, this.
and they're hiding it from Rajesh.
Right,
Because
they want to hide it from the brother because Rajesh, because they know that he's not gonna. If they tell him up front, we want to go because there's a bride there for you, he's not gonna go. Um, so then all go. They get to this location, and they you discover it goes straight into the girl's family. So you meet Anupam Kher, you meet his wife.
They're lovely people.
Lovely, lovely people. And their daughters. Then obviously Pooja, who's played by I think Renuka, but I don't know what her last name is. I know she,
Isn't it Renuka?
Shashani?
I don't know what her last name is, but
Shanae.
Shahani.
Chahani. Okay.
Shanae.
And you see, and the father is like, making these like kachori,
Food.
I guess he's making food. He's frying these delicious things, and the daughter Pooja, she's like, "You're gonna get in trouble with mom," and he's like, "No, I'm not. I'm not afraid of her." And then the mom is like, "Suniye," and he's like, "Oh," and he like drops everything.
That's so scared. He really is like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh," and he like things break on the floor. And he's like hiding. I know.
He's the best. I love him.
And he's sitting on the bed because you're supposed to only pray in this area. And then you see him, he's like only praying. He's like praying on the bed. And the wife comes in. I'm forgetting her name in the movie, but
There's a whole song about her.
I know. I'm forgetting her name in the movie. But anyways, his wife comes in and she was like,
It's just Mrs. Chaudhry. That's what they call her.
I don't know what her name is in the movie.
It's funny. It's funny because I'm on the Wikipedia. It literally just says Mrs. Chaudhry.
Yeah,
there is no first name. It's just Mrs. Chaudhry.
I'm forgetting her name, but anyways, so then she comes in and she's asking Mr. Chaudhry, I guess, Anupam Kher, what were you doing? And he's like, "Oh, I was just praying, this and that." And she was like, "Really, you were just praying?" And he's like, "Oh yes, I was praying." And they start laughing, and she sees her daughter like picking up, cleaning up the dishes that broke. So she obviously knew that wasn't happening. And the mom goes, if anybody can fix you, and everybody goes, "Nisha," and then that leads straight to Madhuri Dixit, twirling around, rollerblading through the mandars, twirling around, ooh, and that's the music that's playing with it. And she's like twirling and twirling and twirling, and she eventually
It literally is that.
and it eventually she twirls into the library, the Munder's library.
No, it's like the office.
It's like the office, but they're returning books, so it's like the library too.
Oh, you're
It was
oh
weird.
my god. Okay, the library.
I mean,
Don't question
it's
Samrah.
kinda
She knows her
odd,
right?
But anyways,
He knows her right.
remember she was returning books. Maybe it's the office.
Yeah, you're
as well,
right.
But that's what I always thought it was like the library to the place.
It makes more sense, honestly. Like the mother should have a library as opposed to an office.
I'm gonna say it's a library, but anybody who's seen Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, please tell me if it's different. So she comes and she's like, manager saab, because his name is manager. I don't know why. He doesn't.
Fun fact. He is the caretaker of the house in Hum Saath Saath Hai, and he coughs the same way.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So he coughs just like that. He goes like that, and he's like this person, nice guy. And anyway, she's like, "I'm just returning your books. My dad sent them back," and he's like, oh, "Okay." And in the meantime, somebody asks for him or whatever, and he's like, "Listen, will you just tally up these things for me?" God, I don't know what he needs tallied up, but he's like, "Will you tally it up? If you tally it up, I'll give you chocolates." And she's like, "Chocolates!" And he's like,
and
"Yeah."
she's an adult woman, and she's like, chocolates.
Yeah, she's like,
how
"Chocolates!"
old is she in the movie? Did they ever really bring that up?
What?
How old is she in the movie?
I don't know how old she is in the movie. I can only assume because the older brother probably is I mean, remember, even though they don't look this old, they always would play these ages. So I think Bram had just finished his college university, so he must have been 24, 23, 24, and the older brother probably
She was 21, I think.
26. So yeah, she played a 21-year-old, even though she probably looked 30. But
Okay.
She did. But the thing is I just find it so funny that they infantize her. They're like, "Ooh, chocolates."
I know.
And she's so into it. There's a whole song about it.
I know. We'll get to that soon. So then he's like, "Ooh, chocolate." So then he's like, "Yep." So then he leaves and he, goes off to do some work. And she sees his turban that he wears and the glasses. So she's like, oh, I'm going to put this on and pretend to be the
Because I'm so
manager.
quirky.
Yeah, because I'm going to pretend to be the manager. So then she pretends to be the manager or whatever, and she puts it on. She starts tallying it. And then in walks Brain.
Salman.
Salman Khan. And he's like, Suniye? And then she doesn't even look up. And he's like, excuse me. And she finally looks up and she's like, yeah. And, what is it? And, she's kind of being like rude and
She's kind of
whatever,
being rude.
for no reason. And he's like, can you tell me where Professor Siddharth Chaudhary is staying? Like what room he's staying in? And she's like, why? Why do you need to know? And he's like, huh? What's up with you? So they kind of get into a little tiff, as you can say. Not like a real argument or anything, but they kind of go back and forth until finally,
She's not like a fan of him for whatever reason.
And he at first is not a fan of her either, because he's like, excuse me, like who do you think you are? And so they're going into this little bickering thing. In comes Manager Saab, or she hears Manager Saab, the Saab cough again, so she quickly takes off his turban and glasses, and as she's taking off her turban, her hair flows out beautifully, perfectly, and that's when Brahim falls in love with her beauty.
Literally. It's like, hey, hey, whatever the music is.
It wasn't hey, hey, that's Hum Saath.
That's Hum Saath. That's the only thing I can reference in my head.
So he was like, oh my God, like he just looks at her and they're looking at each other, and it goes the music in the background. And
not the actual song, right? It's just the instrumental playing in the back.
Yeah. Instrumental playing in the background.
Yeah.
No song yet.
Manager Saab walks in, and so does the older brother, and he, they're like, we'll tell you where Mr. Siddharth Chaudhary is staying. So that situation's taken care of. And so they're going all into the room or whatever, and they're going to go into their own dorm room, apartment, whatever it is that they're staying at. And all of a sudden Madhuri's like, Manager Saab, I did it all. And then he's like, oh, your reward, chocolates. And she's like, thank you. And he's like, so then Samrah Khan starts like, playing around with her too and being like, and then she gets really upset and annoyed with that because he's like making fun of the fact that she was doing to him.
She's honestly really annoying in the beginning.
Yeah, she really is. Actually, she's pretty annoying throughout a lot of the movie.
Until the very end.
Yeah, pretty much. When she has to grow up. Anyways. So then,
no spoilers yet.
Exactly. So then they find, so Kalashnath and the Chaudhurys, I guess, meet. What?
I think it's Chaudhurys in real life. And so I just imagined them and the Chaudhurys.
Oh. So then they meet in real life. Well, I'm sorry, in real life. They meet. And it's like, oh my God, we're long lost friends, blah, 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 blah. So then Kalashnath is like, listen, I'm here because we saw a picture of your daughter, Pooja, and we really want her for my nephew, Rajesh. And it's like, Rishta? Oh my God, we're great friends and this is so amazing. And then they go and bring Rajesh, who still doesn't know this is happening. And then
she knows
because she heard it. So everybody knows but this guy. Why, everyone's there, blah, blah, blah. And he walks into the room and both sisters, Nisha and Pooja, are like, oh my God, so handsome. And really, he's not that good looking, but whatever.
I don't think he's bad looking, by the way. I know,
but he's not like...
Oh. Do they portray him as a bad looking person?
No, he's supposed to be handsome.
He's supposed to be like this handsome, like mature man, and so that's what they show, like this older, mature person, and they're like taking.
I don't know. I think he's cute. Maybe it's just because he always plays good characters.
Yeah,
I
think
know.
That's it. I mean, he doesn't always play good characters, but anyways, so then they're like, and they say yes, and then but he still has no idea. So they're like, so he's like, oh, well, why don't they go, meet? She likes to paint a lot, and Salman Khan's like, oh, painting, they can get painting because he likes to paint too, and
Rajesh does.
Rajesh, so it's like, bhaiya jaake painting, dekhte hain painting, and they go and she shows this picture that she's painting of the mandir, and then he compliments her because she's like, oh, it's like a really pretty thing to be able to paint, and he's like, and you're very pretty too, or whatever, and they kind of flirt, and both Nisha and Brahm are like watching from afar, like, woohoo, they're flirting. And then it cuts to Prem and Rajesh like sitting on like some terrace or something, and he's like constantly asking his brother what he thought of the painting, and the brother's like, why do you keep asking me what I thought of the painting? So then Salman Khan goes, well, okay, fine, do you like the painting? And he's like, yes. He's like, did you like the colors of the painting? And he's like, yes. And he's like, did you like the person who made the painting? Huh? Huh? And then Rajesh doesn't say anything. So that indicates to Salman Khan that, oh my God, he likes him. So he runs screaming. He goes, Kaka. That's what he calls his uncle. Kaka. Bhaiya ko pasand aa gayi, or whatever. And then, he's running to go tell everybody. And, um, he runs into Pooja, and she's like, oh, and he's like, oh, help me, help me, help me. He's, because, his older brother's accidentally after him, and she actually accidentally gets paint all over his white shalwar kameez. And then it goes into the song, Vaha Vaha Ram Ji, Jodi Kya Banai, Bhaiya aur bhabhi ko badhai ho badhai.
Zabar Samo. Okay, I thought we were.
वाह वाह राम जी जोड़ी क्या बनाई भैया और भाभी को बधाई हो बधाई सब रस्मों से बड़ी है जग में दिल से दिल की सगाई.
But so I'm gonna want to go.
I'm gonna talk over it, so I was like, I
was really in it.
So basically, that song indicates that they got engaged,
and it's like them. It's like the ceremony.
Yeah, it's their engagement ceremony. So then it's like,
isn't that go straight into Abul Ki?
No.
What?
Sorry, that's not the right. Doesn't go straight into her Ruxti song?
No. Where are you?
Sorry.
So then, they do the ceremony, and then it's like, oh, and then there's this woman, really annoying. I'm forgetting what her name was in the movie.
The Mommy G.
Mommy G, exactly. Oh, look at
it's the brother.
No.
It's the
oh, what was her name?
It's Kailash's younger brother.
Bhagwanti.
Bindu Bhagwanti, yeah, the mommy G. So they come back from their little thing, and then they're like, oh, you did the rishta, we had no idea, blah blah blah. I told you should marry my sweetie, her niece or whatever. Ooh, sweetie, and anyway, so they,
because she's rich, that's why she's saying that you should marry my niece.
Yeah, she would have brought all this stuff, blah blah blah, which is weird because the professor is not supposed to be very rich, yet he lives in a mansion himself. So then they do a party at their house where it's like, why don't you guys come over? We'll introduce you to all of our friends and family and blah, blah, blah. And so they do this big party, and Salman Khan, is excited because Madhuri is going to be there. And he's like, ooh, we're going to see each other again. And this Salman Khan also has like this person, I'm forgetting her name. She has a crush on him, Rita. That was her name, Rita. And she has this crush on him, so Salman Khan's trying to avoid her. Anyways, they have this party, and they're singing songs again, and it goes straight to the other song. What you find out is, it's kind of weird, is Galashnath had a crush on Mrs. Chaudhry. I don't know, Anupam Kher's wife. Anupam Kher and his wife obviously liked each other, and they got married in college, but Galashnath, I guess, had a crush on her too.
I didn't like this part of the story because I thought it was awkward.
Weird. And so then,
she's like flirty back.
Yeah, not really, but he definitely was flirting the whole time. Well, it's very weird because the husband's even like, why don't you sing a song,
about the beauty of
the beauty of my wife, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, oh, come on, blah 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 blah. So he sings a song, and it's like, Aaj ki baat, no, what is it? Aaj ki raat bata dun ye. It's an amazing song. No. It's such an amazing song. Samne samdiji ga rahi samdan hai.
It's Samdi Samdan. That's the song.
Yeah. हमको जो है निभाना वो नाजुक बंधन है
है.
सामने समझी जी का यही समदन है.
हमको जो है निभाना वो नाजुक बंधन है सामने समधी जी गा रही समधन है.
They're singing this song, so he's like talking about her beauty and blah 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 blah, and then finally the mom starts singing, like Mrs. Chaudhry, and she really just actually it gets kind of sad towards the end of the song because it's like this happy like awkward song because you're like, why are they kind of flirting with each other? But then she basically talks about how her daughter is leaving and going into their home, and she's requesting that they take care of her. And it's like everybody
Yeah.
starts crying at the end, and you're like, and then it goes straight into the wedding.
Yeah, you're right.
And the wedding happens, and again, Salman Khan is like, we got to be careful because, you know, we got to hide the jute. Now, in our culture, there's this like juta chupai rasam, ceremony.
They hide the
You
shoes
have
of the
to-
groom
yeah,
so that he can't leave. The girl's side does, so that he can't leave, so
without
that
paying them.
without paying for his shoes back.
Yeah. So then this
Yep.
is like a big thing that happens.
Remember, she tries to pull a prank on him, and she puts pop artists in the.
Yeah. Exactly. She's and that's another thing. And you would always want to, you know, the groom side and the bride side. Sometimes they play like little pranks on each other. So they're like getting ready to want to steal the shoes, and they're, you know, getting a whole operation in it. And
You know who you didn't introduce?
who?
One, Lalu.
How can I friend Lalu?
And you didn't introduce the girl that's obsessed with Salman Khan,
I
the
did,
cousin.
Rita.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
The one that worked. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Rita.
Yeah, she's into Salman Khan, wants to marry him.
Yeah, I did. Rita. Lalu is kind of I guess a servant, but like a brother.
They treat him like family, but he's a servant.
He's a servant. So when you're
Okay.
very well off in India, Pakistan, those countries, you get like servants, and
Even here, we get
butlers,
servants.
maids, cooks. That's what they're. I mean, that's basically what it is over there. They say servants, but it's like having a butler, having a maid, having a cook, having, you know, that type of situation. So he is that, but they treat him like family.
And they like, so Bram is always with him hanging
Yeah,
out.
they're always hanging out. So Bram like goes and like they're making sure that the juta, like the shoes aren't, you know,
Stolen.
and they're also making sure that they're not gonna fall for their tricks. So then she does try putting Bopper underneath on the seat that they're supposed to sit on, which is like really crunchy sounding bread, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how
It's
would you
like
have to, how would you
fried
describe
dough.
pop butter? Yeah.
But it's
What
like
did you say,
really
Zain?
I
fried.
said, how would you even describe pop butter if you had to like
It's like-
describe it? It's like
Chips.
Yeah, it's like
I always thought it
it's
was
like
chips,
chips.
too.
It's like a big
Yeah.
chip. It's like fried. It's like frying a tortilla, like really deep frying it, and it gets crunchy. I mean, it's not a tortilla, but anyways. So she puts a bunch of those underneath this place, and he figures it out or whatever. And so finally, they get to the ceremony of, like, you know, the trying to take the shoes, and they're trying to find these shoes, and they can't find them.
And then they
finally-
took Duffy, the dog. You also forgot to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about Duffy.
no, this is a dog that's like extremely smart. Like I'm not a big pet person, but if I was gonna have a dog, I swear to God, I want Duffy.
Yeah. And he's very important to the plot of this movie.
Yeah, extremely important to the plot. So Duffy was sitting on the box of shoes the whole time, and they figured
And they
it out.
tricked Duffy.
And they tricked Duffy, but Duffy, being the smart dog, saw where they hid the shoes. So then he got Salman Khan. He got Prem. Oh no, not Prem. He got Lalu, right? Yeah, Lalu. He like brings Lalu upstairs, and Salman Khan's like, wait, he's trying to tell us something. So they follow Duffy, and they find the shoes. So they're like, I see. So in the same box, they replace the shoes with a bunch of like flowers, and they're like, put this little note in it. So they do that, and finally it's like their Juta Chupai ceremony, and they're talking numbers, like how much money, this, that, and they finally agree to an amount, but they're like, listen, we'll give you the money, but you need to bring the shoes first. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll go bring the shoes. They go upstairs where they thought they left the shoes. They, as in the girls, Madhuri and her cousins, and guess what? Shoes not there. They find a box of flowers instead.
And the note that's like very romantic.
Yeah. And then they come downstairs and it goes straight into, hey, hey. दूल्हे की सालियों ओ हरे दुपट्टे वालियों दूल्हे की सालियों ओ हरे दुपट्टे वालियों जूते दे दो पैसे
पैसे
ले
ले लो
लो जूते दे दो पैसे ले लो hey hey
and the girls go.
exactly.
दूल्हे की सालियों हरे दुपट्टे वालियों दूल्हे की सालियों हरे दुपट्टे वालियों जूते दे दो पैसे ले लो जूते दे दो पैसे ले लो.
And it's this whole song about, where are
Give
the
me the
shoes?
money first. Then give me the
guys
shoes.
are saying, give me the shoes, we'll give you the money. And the girls are saying, give me the money, we'll give you the shoes. Now, they're bluffing because they don't have the shoes. So
And the whole song, they're trying to get them shoes back.
yeah, they're trying to find the shoes while the guys are, finally, they find...
It's literally, this movie is plotless. I'm going to let you know. The movie is pretty plotless until the end.
Yeah, pretty much. So finally, they find the shoes. And it's like a battle against them. And Madhuri grabbed them first, and then they're chasing all over the house. And meanwhile, this wedding ceremony is happening in the background, and nobody gives a shit. And
but Prem is chasing Madhuri, and then he chases her into her room.
Yeah.
And then
the bed breaks. It's a very
and then they fall on top of each other, and then he falls on top of her. Yeah, and the bed breaks.
And they're like, "Oh my god, the bed broke." And they're trying to get back up on the bed, and it's like, this is awkward. So finally they get up, and she's got the shoes in her hand, and he's holding on to her hand, and she's like, because, it's like an awkward moment because they just got up from the bed with each other, and then he lets go of her hand, and she turns around. It's a very significant moment because she looks at him, and I think that's the moment where she gets a crush on him. And she's like, wait a minute. And
because he gives her the shoes.
Yeah, he lets her, he could have easily taken them from her hand and been like, I got the shoes. But instead, he lets her have it. So she runs downstairs, and she, everybody thinks she won, and the girl side won, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, he let her win. And then she runs down her massive stairs, which are also significant. We'll tell you about that later. She runs down her massive stairs and, looks up, and there he is looking from the balcony of those stairs and looking at her, and she's looking at him, and it's a moment that you realize,
they into it.
They into each other. And then it goes into, her bringing the shoes, and it goes into the sad song. जो तुमने सिखाया जो तुमसे पाया सजन घर में चली
बाबुल जो तुमने सिखाया जो तुमसे पाया सजन घर ले चली
घर में चली
सजन घर में चली.
Like they're praying, and she's crying so much, and she can't get up because she's crying so much, and they're like, they have to pick her up because she's like so sad, and it makes you cry. And you're like,
you're like, why? Don't leave your house. Anyway, so then they leave, and so another part significant is at the end, the bride and groom go off in their car, and then, the bride's family saying goodbye to the groom's side, and they're all saying bye, and they're standing in line, and finally it's Prem versus Pooja, and he looks at her, he's like, if I did anything, by fault, by mistake, in this game that we've played with each other or whatnot, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset or hurt you in any way. And he walks away, and that captures her for sure.
Yeah. She's like,
for sure.
She's like, damn, he seems like a good guy. Because she kind of thought he was a dick. But
yeah,
he was. He's actually really sweet.
And
especially to her sister.
Right. Which you don't see till a little later. And then it cuts to that. So it must be a couple months into the wedding. And, her husband Rajesh is, the Pooja's husband, is in this new house, and she's trying to, get settled into it. And she's teaching Lalu how to speak English or read and write in English.
I know, it's so
It's very
sweet.
sweet. And then she's like, taking over cooking and this and that. And her husband Rajesh went back into work, so he doesn't really give her too much time. So she's just trying to settle into this new family. And finally, it's like a day off and they're playing cricket. Oh, that's actually the opening scene, the cricket scene. I forgot to say that.
Yeah, and they're wearing boy hats and girl hats.
Yeah, it's very weird. But anyway.
And there are random children that are there. Who are these children? No one knows.
Nobody knows who these, and there's a ton of them. It's not like one or two random
It's like
kids.
a class of children.
Like
I don't know why they're there.
Kids. We don't know where they come from. But anyways, they came that day too. So he walks into the kitchen and there she is, and she's having Lalu do some English classes, and he's like, let's go play cricket or whatever. And Lalu's like, no, we're not playing cricket. And there's another servant girl there. She's like another one. Her name is Jamili. And and he's like, Jamili, Salman Khan, Bram is, and he's like, Jamili, tell Lalu why you want Pooja to play cricket. He calls Pooja Bhabhi. So he's like, tell why we want Bhabhi to play cricket. And it's because Rajesh was home. They were gonna be able to spend some time together. And Lalu was like, I don't care, blah blah blah. And then finally, when Jamili explained it to Lalu, he was like, well then let's go play cricket. So then they go play cricket, and Bhabhi Pooja never played cricket before, but then she got she stepped up to the plate. She did it, and she got. By the way, Duffy is also the umpire. Umpire is an umpire in cricket, and somehow he knows exactly when somebody's out and when there's like a foul or whatever. He anyways. So this dog is a genius.
This dog is. He can call out or not.
And so Pooja does the game or play on Rajesh, and they're like, umpire, and waiting for Duffy to give his answer as to what happened. And then before you know it, it was out, which means Rajesh was out, which means Pooja won the game. And it was like, oh my god. And then Rajesh gets kind of like, sore loser. And then it goes straight into another song. Diktana, diktana, diktana. Diktana, diktana, diktana. Diktana, diktana, diktana.
Yeah.
दिखताना 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 भाभी तुम खुशियों को निभाना दिखताना
Diktana, diktana.
धिकताना 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 धिक धिकताना 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 धिक धिकताना 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 भाभी तुम खुशियों का खजाना धिकताना 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 धिक धिकताना 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 धिक धिकताना धिकताना धिकताना
Diktana, diktana, diktana. And it's basically a song about
Making sure she feels at home and how they become really close.
Yeah, and it's this song spans over many days because it goes into their everyday lives and just how he's like, you're so nice to us, blah blah blah. And finally, she towards the end of the song, you find out she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh,
and the end of the song is he has all these toys for her. I'm kind of like, how did he know so quickly and was able to get all these toys and balloons?
They're rich.
But he found out 5 minutes ago.
But they're rich.
He had it prepared.
He knew.
She had a feeling.
He's like, oh, Rajesh is home this week.
Exactly.
Ew.
So then it goes. So then it goes into, the song ends and she's pregnant, and then it goes into planning the baby shower, and it's like, oh, we want to plan the baby shower, and she's getting ready to plan this baby shower, and she calls her family. The family calls or whatever, and she's like, are you guys coming? And they're like, oh, we can't come, but Nisha, we want to send Nisha. She's like, yeah, you have to send Nisha, because they're planning this baby shower for her. So yeah, you have to send Nisha. And they're like, okay, we're going to send Nisha. And Salman Khan gets really, really excited and happy, because Guess who's gonna go?
He's also in the song. You forgot that he's watching a video of Nisha from the wedding and like just staring at it.
Yeah. But this is like right before she calls her family, I guess. Oh, and Lalu catches him, and
And Lalu's like,
I'm gonna
you
go
creep.
tell or whatever, and he doesn't, and then it ends with like, you know, her talking to her family, and then it's like, who's gonna go pick Nisha up? Well, guess who picks Nisha up?
Prem! With his
Prem.
car that has graffiti that says, I love my family.
All over. It's like this. It's like a Wrangler with graffiti all over it. It's very weird.
With like red like paint that the props department did that one day. And it just says, I love my family in art.
Very weird. Why it has all that writing in it, I have no clue. So then he goes and, is like, I'm picking up Nisha. So then he's on his way. Well, then it's the morning that he's supposed to go pick up Nisha, and guess what? Oh, by the way, when she calls her family, I guess Prem calls, and he goes,
they can't come because they have stuff to do.
And then she's like, like they're flirting with each other at first, and then he goes, Loji, bhabhi se baat karo. She's got Mehndi on, so he's got to like hold the phone for her, and she's like, hi, Nisha, and she's like, hello, Munni mother, how are you? Anyways,
Mother, how cute.
yeah, and they don't even get to talk, and she's like, "Lo, mommy se baat karo," and then the mom's like, "No, we can't make it." So that was a scene before. So then he goes, and then it's the morning that Bram is supposed to go.
You missed my favorite thing, my favorite line of the whole movie.
What?
दाल में कुछ काला है मुझे काली दाल बहुत पसंद है.
What?
During the jute de do paise le lo whatever, and then they're like, he's like, दाल में कुछ काला है मुझे काली दाल बहुत पसंद है.
Oh yeah, that was actually one of the best lines in the movie. So that's actually during the wedding scene. Sorry,
we missed it.
That was, see, this is what happens when I don't take notes. But there's a scene, and so they call before they realize that Nisha had put like bopper or whatever all on that seat. They call him over to be like, hey, why don't you come with us and like hang out with us? And so Lalu goes to Prem. Oh, dal mein kuch kala hai, which means something is fishy, or there's like, there's a black bean in the lentils, is what it literally translates to. There's something black on the lentils. And Prem goes, mujhe kali dal bahut pasand hai, which means there's a type of lentils which are like darker, like they're like black lentils. So he's like, I really like that type of lentil, so let's go for it.
It's a very lame line, but I really like it.
Yeah.
And
It's if you're Dixit, that line is hilarious.
it's a
additional little scene right there. But so anyways, we're back on the scene where he's going to go pick up Nisha for the baby shower. So then it's the morning that Prem's supposed to get Nisha, and the mom goes to her room. By the way, Madhuri Dixit in her bedroom has a massive painting of herself, or not painting, but picture of herself above her bed, which is ridiculous.
Does eating ice cream, I think.
Yeah, eating like ice cream or God knows what. So, which leads to the mom being like, Nisha, Prem aata hi hoga, uth jao. And then she's like, she gets so excited because she's about to get ready for Prem.
Be alone.
Exactly. So then it goes into the song Chocolate, which I don't know why. Oh, I know why. Okay. So it goes into the song Chocolate, lime juice, ice cream toffeeyan, pehle jaise ab mere शौक है कहाँ गुड़िया खिलौने मेरी सहेलियाँ अब मुझे लगता है सारी पहेलियाँ ये कौन सा मोर है उम्र का
चॉकलेट लाइम जूस आइसक्रीम टॉफियाँ पहले जैसे अब मेरे शौक है कहाँ गुड़िया खिलौने मेरी सहेलियाँ अब मुझे लगती है सारी पहेलियाँ ये कौन सा मोड़ है उम्र का
And so
I love that song. It's my favorite song in the entire movie. personally
Basically,
speaking.
she's like, "Hey,
It's a good song.
yeah, she's like basically like I used to love chocolates and ice cream and dolls were my friends, and these all seem like stories to me now. So what is coming? What turn is coming in my age? Basically, she's saying she's falling in love and she doesn't know what's happening. So then finally she's done singing her song and Brahm gets to, their house and he's picking her up and he gives her flowers or whatever and he's like, and he's like, thank you. And she's like, किस बात के लिए, like for what? He's like, आपने मेरे लिए इंतजार किया or whatever. You were waiting for me. And she was like, I wasn't waiting for you. And he was like, oh, really? Then what were you doing dancing on the roof, looking out for my car, like singing a song? And she got really embarrassed because that means he caught her. And he gives her flowers, whatever, and they have a little moment. So basically at this point, they like each other. And
They're like flirting
yeah,
at this
they
point.
both-
Everything that
they're into it. They're very into it at this point. And so they get going to the house or whatever. And so they're on their car drive and they're talking and whatnot. And I don't remember what happened actually. I don't know if you do, but I don't remember what happened where it goes
plays
for him to be like 10, 9, 8, 7.
because she gets embarrassed by something. He says something in the car that I forgot exactly what he says to her, but she gets embarrassed about it. And he's like, "Well, let me show you around. Let's have fun." And she's like, "No."
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he takes her car like
Like, oh,
through
really?
the woods and they're like going nuts in the car and he's like 10, 9, 8, 7. Basically he goes through 2 4 1 in this moment and then he goes to the next song. ये मौसम का
जादू है
मितवा
मितवा मितवा
या अब कुछ है जादू है मितवा
मितवा
नैना दिल से खो गए दीवाने से हो गए नजारा ये हर कुछ है मितवा
मितवा
ये मौसम का जादू है मितवा न अब दिल पे काबू है मितवा नैना जिसमें खो गए दीवाने से हो गए नजारा वो हर सू है मितवा
How many songs have we done?
I don't even know
So far it looks like I'm taking notes. So far we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
Are you kidding me?
We've done 8 songs.
and we're not even done yet.
We're not even close to done.
We're like halfway through the movie.
And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, and we're not. And now I know how Samrah feels.
Who now you know how I feel, and I'm not even going into major detail about the movie. I'm not.
I know, but you are. You're actually doing very good.
Oh, thanks. But I'm
lot
not
from
going
memory.
into major detail. I'm really not. I'm not going into like serious detail. But hey, whatever. I'm trying to do as best as I can because it's a very long movie. It's very long. So then basically that song happens and they're all of a sudden like, ooh, we definitely like each other. And they get to the house finally. And so she's so excited because she sees her sister and woohoo, she's like, so excited. She sees everybody. And now comes the time for the bridal shower. And they're all dressed up.
Baby shower.
Baby shower. And they're all dressed up like it's a massive party and guys are not allowed in the girls section. But Bram and Lalu like kind of sneak in, and they first sneak in
Because all the uncles are like, oh, we all used to do that. And
Yeah,
I'm
we
like, oh,
all
really?
do that, and because it's so much fun. Because we're just sitting out here doing nothing, and they're over there like making fun of us, and like I mean, basically, it's like you want to be with the girls. So then they try sneaking in with dupattas, but then get caught, and then they finally find a place where they can watch everything from afar, like from the kitchen area, and they basically it goes into the next song, which is Didi Tera Devar Divana. Didi
Now-
Tera Devar Divana.
Divana.
Hi
Hi.
Ram.
कुड़ियों का है ज़माना.
No, that's his part of the song.
दीदी तेरा देवर दीवाना, ओ दीदी तेरा देवर दीवाना, हाय राम कुड़ियों को डाले दाना, हाय राम कुड़ियों को डाले दाना.
Anyway,
This is probably like the biggest song that ever came out in like Bollywood for like the longest time.
it's like
Do 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 do.
do. So it's basically Madhuri and Rita's dressed up as Prem.
Madhuri.
And Madhuri is making fun of Prem, and Rita's dressed up as him, and she.
Which, can I make a point? Is that not they're very mean about him in the song?
Yeah, they are.
They're
basically
huge
calling him,
womanizer. Yeah, they make him really creepy and like touchy feely, and like he's not like that at all.
And
And they're
so it's
making him seem like a really big creep, and like gets her pregnant in the song.
it's very weird because it's like, what does that have to do with a baby shower? But
Like they're
anyway,
saying that like if Graham had a girl, he like looks like he like attacks her under the sheets, and like she's upset about it when she gets out, and then she becomes pregnant.
Oh my god.
yeah, and he's like okay with all of this. So finally, he like comes out. He like jumps on the chandelier, and you're like, how the hell did he get to the
He
chandelier?
like jumps onto the chandelier and swings from the
Swings.
chandelier.
He like swings. He literally swings from the chandelier. It's so true. That's
Zain, put that song in. Well,
Yeah, right. Chandelier.
from the
and he
chandelier.
sings his part or whatever, and she runs out to like the pool area or whatever, and they're like alone. And
You miss him hitting her butt with the thing.
no, that was Rita. Remember?
No, he hits her butt with the thing in real life.
What are you talking about?
He has the slingshot.
Oh yeah,
iconic.
yeah. That was like the iconic moment when he gets into the
He gets into the baby shower. They catch him, and he like dances all the ladies, and he takes a slingshot that's like this yellow puff.
yeah,
what it
and then
is.
he hits Madhuri's butt with whatever is attached to the slingshot, and it's like a very
And then
iconic moment.
then doesn't he
in the
then
movie.
swing on the chandelier? After that, pretty sure he hits the.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the chandelier happened because the women are all trying to catch him, and then he's like, "Oh, let me get out of here!" And somehow he like jumps on the chandelier and starts singing.
He literally jumps 2 stories.
He jumped like
2 stories up to go to the chandelier, which makes 0 sense.
and somehow
but,
that
like, it
chandelier
happens.
like really lowers itself down.
Like I don't know how it wasn't a huge disaster, but let's just let it be.
Bollywood magic.
Bollywood magic. Exactly. So then the song ends, and they're like, she runs over to the pool area, and they're like flirting with each other or whatever, and he's like, she's like, you didn't mind what I said, and he's like, no, I don't mind anything you said or whatever, and
Anything you say.
and you know, I'm okay with anything you say or whatever, and they're really flirting or whatever, and then she says an iconic line, and she's like, "Kyun hum aapke hain kaun?" Like, who am I to you, right? And he was like, "Should I say?" And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And he couldn't really say it because she pushes him in the pool or whatever, and then runs
Right
away.
before he says it,
Yeah.
she pushes him into the freaking pool.
And then like
the
runs
hell?
away, and he's like,
What a tease.
you know,
If any girl did that here, and he's like, "Ooh, say it," and then she pushed him into the pool and ran away, it would not be cute.
exactly.
We're like, what the hell?
It'd be like, what the
WTF?
f,
Yeah.
dude.
There's actually another
Anyway.
line in the movie which I can't remember when he said it, but he goes, "Shit, I love her," because he like is bothering her or whatever.
That's it. Oh yeah.
And
You're right.
And he's like bothering Pooja. I'm sorry, Nisha for some reason, and then she walks away. He's like, "Shit, I love her." He's like, "Shit, I love her," but
He does it again at the pool.
yeah, exactly. So then it's
That has to be the name of the episode. Shit, I love her.
right. And so then it turns into like it's very weird. They're like hanging out in the house or whatever, and she's like made him dinner. He started going to work, and he came home late. Nisha made everybody dinner.
She's staying until the baby is born.
Yeah, until the baby's born. So it's like a few days after his baby shower or whatever.
And he's like going to work real late.
And like, yeah.
And they're like talking on the phone and stuff at work.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's at work and she's talking to him on the phone. They're in love at this point. So one night she's making dinner for everybody and he comes home late, so she takes it out for him, and Lulu's like, "Oh, she was waiting up for you," and they take it out for him, and it goes into the next song where it really makes their
cements their love.
Yeah, cements the relationship.
It hasn't cemented
and it was,
already at this point.
Pehla pehla प्यार है
Do do do.
पहली पहली
पहला पहला प्यार है पहली पहली बार है पहला पहला प्यार है पहली पहली बार है
all this, like, and that's
It's very romantic.
That's actually the song I hate the most.
Yeah, I think that's my least favorite song in the whole movie.
And so then, you know, as soon as the
don't
song,
like
as soon as the song is over, Pooja goes into labor and delivers a baby boy. And it's like, oh, everybody's so excited, and then it goes straight back to
the parents come.
Yeah, but they come and it's like Diktana again. They sing the song Diktana, 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 hey, Diktana, Diktana.
Reprise.
Yeah, because they're very happy that the baby is born, and at the end of the second time Diktana plays again, the parents come, Pooja's mom and dad. So everyone's like, woohoo, super excited, and they get to hang out for a couple of days together. So the day that they're so then they go and they come, and then they, the night before, Pooja's parents are leaving, they
play a game.
like hot potato, pretty much. Musical pillow, where they're
pillow. You know what's really funny? Can I pause really quick? You know what's really funny is that as you're describing this movie, I've been having like the movie being playing in the background. And like I'm just kind of skipping through it as you're describing it, and it just makes the movie even so much more funnier than it should be.
They're playing pretty much musical.
because you're like, especially in the part that I was laughing at the most, you're like, well, they had the kids, so they're all like really excited. So I fast forwarded to that point of the movie, and literally they're all in the baby's room just dancing. And they're just dancing constantly. You're like, what is happening?
And they're dancing to Diktana.
Like, it's so out of place, but okay.
So then they're all like, they're playing musical pillow.
You guys, I need to make this point that she's doing this all from memory.
This is all from memory.
I did notes, and Samrah's doing this much detail from memory.
That shows how many times this movie has been watched.
I've seen this movie once.
I'm going crazy. This is so long.
You know what's funny? You know what's really even funnier? In the point of the video that I'm at, we are 2 hours and 12 minutes into this video. And we still have another hour to this movie. This is the musical chair part. 2 hours and 12 minutes into it.
So we're at musical chairs, and if anybody's musical pillow, and everybody's not understanding what musical pillow is, it's kind of like hot potato. So a song is playing in the background.
Except if it lands on you, you have to do a dare.
Yeah, so it's like you have this pillow is being tossed around in a circle, and if it lands on you, then you have to do a dare that everybody wants you to do. So it's going, and everybody is doing this dare, and going, and the last bit of it ends with it's between Salman Khan and Nisha. And so it's like Nisha's gonna win, Salman's gonna win, and obviously the guy playing the song, like Salman told him to stop it on Nisha beforehand, because he does this like wink to her right before, and then the song ends, and she's like, he cheated, and he's like, how did I cheat? And everybody's confused, and she's like, he cheated, and he's like, I didn't cheat, tell me how I cheated. So then she couldn't say it, so she was like, okay, fine, what do I have to do? And he's like, you have to sing a song or whatever. And
Of course.
And it goes into the song. Mine munere patere tore rahe kaga.
मायन मायन मुंडेर पे तेरी बोल रहा है कागा जोगन हो गई तेरी दुलारी मन जोगी संग लागा
the lyrics?
Yeah, I don't really know this lyrics, but I think that
Because that doesn't sound like real language.
no, but I think it is. But that is the real lyric. I'm telling you.
I don't even know how to write the song. How do you describe the song? How do you write? What is that? What is the song title?
No, literally. Let me tell you what it is. From the movie Hum Aapke Hain Kaun. Oh wait, that's the wrong. Let me. I'm trying to find the lyrics.
I can't breathe. It's
And
so
yeah, it's
ridiculous.
funny. And like, and as I was saying, I'm watching the movie as you're describing it, and like they're all just doing like square dancing. They're all like, they're all like, they're all
There
like.
you
There's
go.
a guy's
There you go.
line and
Here's
a
the
girl's
song.
line.
These are the exact lyrics sung by Lata Mangeshkar. Okay, मायने माय मुंडेरे पे तेरे बोल रहा है कागा जोगन हो गई तेरी दुलारी मन जोगी संग लगा टू 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 टू
No,
टू टू टू.
whatever. This sounds fake.
It's not fake though. It's real, and it's
I agree.
basically telling her mother, "Get me married."
Yeah, she's saying get me married,
Like it's
which
time
is
to
a bit dramatic and like in front of everyone.
seriously. It's like you gotta like calm down there, suckers. So then it goes to
They leave.
they leave the next day and they go and everyone's really sad that they left.
Nisha brings Ronak into the home.
Yeah, and basically they promise each other, secretly that they will, reunite again. Then somehow it skips another couple of months. I think the baby's looks like the baby's like 6 months old now, and 4 or 5, 6 months old. So it skips another couple of months, and Pooja is going away to stay with her parents. And Bram takes her there, and he's like, they talk about on the way there to her house, like, it's time for, before they leave, they were like, you got to get, we're going to put this as your responsibility, Pooja, but, we want to find a girl for Bram now. So she's like, ooh. So she's like, okay. Now they're talking about it in the car. She's like, I've been given this responsibility. And he's basically like, well, what if I tell you I already have like somebody? So she's like, well, who is it? He's like, well, do you want to see her on the way? She's like, yeah, I want to see the person you like on the way. So then they go and drive all the way.
You missed about Lalu's dad.
Oh yeah,
How he's sick.
Before she leaves, not Lalu's dad, Lalu's sister-in-law, his bhabi is really sick. So he goes back to his village to go like
And
kinda
she
take
like
care
the
of him.
Pooja talks to him and is like,
Yeah,
she'll be
she's, like,
okay.
really
I'll pray
sad.
for him
Yeah.
and or pray for her, and she comforts Lalu.
And
She loves her so much.
yeah.
Pooja.
So he goes off. So Lalu actually leaves, and then Pooja leaves to go to her house. So she is talking to Prem like, "Oh, hey, like," and Prem's like, "I'm gonna take you and see her." So it's on the way. So she's like really excited. So they finally get to her house, and she's like, "Wow, you told me you were gonna, show me the girl you like on the way to the house, and we're already here." He's like, "Well, I didn't break that promise. She's right there." And then she finds out. She's like, "Pooja," and she's like, it's Pooja.
It's Pooja. It's Kelly. It's Pooja.
So it's like, it's Pooja. And then she's singing the song. लो चली मैं अपनी देवर की बारात लेके लो चली मैं ना बैंड बाजा ना ही बाराती खुशियों की सौगात में के लो चली मैं.
Dun, dun.
Pooja's very excited because she's really happy that
She's saying, Lord Chalime, like, I'm going to bring my Dever's Barat, my brother-in-law's wedding procession, and guess where I'm bringing it? To my sister.
Right. So she's like super happy. And at the end, she puts, so she's been also given this necklace, which was, I believe, like Bram's mom's necklace or something like that. And that person had to wear it for, she was given this, when she was given the responsibility to find, Bram's wife, she's supposed to give it to the wife. So she's at the end of the song putting it on Nisha, like, oh, this is the wife, and now everyone's gonna know you're the wife, blah blah blah. And so, and then the phone rings, and they live in a freaking mansion, and for some odd reason, they only have one phone, which is on the first floor. So as the phone rings, she's going, the song's still playing in the background, and guess what? Pooja slips, falls down the stairs, goes tumbling down those massive stairs, and dies. Well, she doesn't die right then and there, ladies and gentlemen. It's the saddest thing in the whole wide world. They take her to the hospital, they find her, and first of all, this hospital is terrible. Um, she like wakes up from conscious, like I don't know, was she in a coma? I don't know what it was. She like passed out basically. So she finally
She has a
wakes up.
brain bleed,
Yeah,
obviously.
she has like some serious head injury, but she wakes up and the whole family is like in the room, like, oh my God, like waiting for her. She can't talk, and then she looks up and she kind of smiles because in the back it's Pooja. I'm sorry, it's Nisha and Prem, Salman and Madhuri, like standing in the back, and she kind of smiles and she points to them, and everybody's looking at them, and they're like, nobody,
What?
not even they know what she's talking about. So they're like looking at each other, like, what is she trying to say? And she
Then she starts feeling like
and
dizzy.
you see it in Amna makes this point. You see it in her point of view, so she starts feeling dizzy and things start going blurry, and so she knows she's dying. And all of a sudden, she starts taking these like very deep breaths and like,
And the doctor is freaking
yeah,
useless.
the doctor's in the room, useless.
Meds, and then they get her the meds, and then he's like, they're not working. And then they watch her pulse goes lower and lower, and I'm like, where are the freaking
And
paddles?
instead,
Why are
he's like, injection to Gail, like bring the injection, and you're like, wait a minute, injection's not gonna do anything. Basically,
and then they don't bring the injection, and they just watch her die.
yeah, and then she
Yeah,
dies.
it's
Doctor should be sued.
Yeah, and then all he says
Malpractice
at the end
or
is like,
And so
sorry, she is no more. And you're like, what the hell?
it's terrible. And then it's terrible because it's you literally see like her perspective. She sees her heart monitor go lower and lower, and she's like knows she's dying, and she's trying to like communicate.
And she's trying
As
to
best-
breathe and communicate as best as she can, and she can't.
And it's like, why are they showing this? It's so sad.
Grim. It's such a grim scene.
It's really,
In an otherwise happy as fuck movie.
yeah. It's just all of a sudden the movie goes from being like super plotless and super
Hard left
happy,
turn.
and takes a hard left, and it goes to
No, mind-
having that
Slam into the wall.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
it goes into
Mind
a
you,
major
this.
plot.
No, I was gonna say, sorry. I was gonna say, mind you, like the plotless movie was for 2 hours and 30 minutes. It only the last 30 minutes is when it becomes really sad.
Yeah, basically, and the real story takes in, and you're like, what's happening
Hours and
here?
30 minutes.
So then,
You're like, this is not what I signed up for.
right, you had signed up to have a happy movie, and then she dies, and this is the kicker, guys. You think, oh, okay, you've seen this movie 200 times. Are you gonna really cry every single time she dies? It's like, no, you really cry from like the last 45 minutes of the movie. You're like nonstop crying.
They're all grieving her loss.
Stop grieving. So like first, then she dies, and they do like the funeral right away, and then it cuts to like back in Rajesh's house. Everybody's like grieving her loss or whatever, and then Lulu walks in, and he's like, he doesn't even know. He like goes outside, like Bram sees him outside, and he's like, my Poppy is much better, and Pooja Bhabhi like prayed for her, and I'm gonna go inside and tell her, that she's all better because of her. Well, he walks into like
A funeral, basically.
and he like goes crazy, like crying, and even the dog is sad, and everybody's sad.
The dog is like stressed to eat.
Yeah.
drink water.
Like everybody's just so sad because she was like the light of the house. Then they start talking about the fact that she has this baby, and the baby,
Right now, Nisha is taking care of the baby.
right, exactly.
And they're like, who's going to be a mom to this baby?
Right.
Like, who's going to raise this kid? Because, in India, God knows a man can't raise a child. So who's going to
Like he can't raise his own kid, mind you. He's living in his house. The kid is still in Pooja's like parents' house, and they're like, "Who's gonna raise this baby?" And it's like, and we gotta get Rajesh married again, and then it turns into this plot that like it's like, wait a minute, this baby only sleeps with Nisha now. Nisha's taking care of the baby. That's Nisha's baby now. So
Even though the mommy G wants the married sweetie,
yeah,
and she insults some, I don't know what she says, and the dude slaps her in the face, and he's like, "This is why we never had kids," and it's like, boom, boom.
yeah, exactly. It's like, holy shit. Because
He
she's
went
like,
in.
we can put like the baby in a boarding school. It's
That's
okay.
what she said. Yeah,
She's
and then
like,
he
it's
slaps her.
okay. You know, she passed away. It's very sad. But you know what? You can marry Sweetie and she'll take care of your son. But, and then they'll put him in the boarding school or whatever. And she gets slapped in the face. And you're like, you know what? I don't condone slapping, women. But she kind of deserved it.
She literally was like this baby who just like lost their mother and is like a 6-month-old. Like, yeah, we could ship that baby to boarding school, get you married to my niece who she's been calling for the entire damn movie.
The funeral was like the day before.
The day before.
And she's already talking about him getting married again. So it was like, you do deserve a slap in the face.
If not him, it would have been me.
Exactly.
Would have been me.
It would have been somebody. So then, the parents are like, what do we do? We only, this baby only like wants to be with Nisha. Nisha only wants to be with this baby. So she takes good care of the son. What can we say? So the
It's her,
parents,
it's a
so
challah.
Nisha's parents and Kalashant feel, they think that Nisha will be the best mom
Mother.
to the baby. So they want to get Rajesh married to Nisha. And Rajesh is like, listen, I'm doing this just for my son. Like, I don't really care because he loved his wife. He just, is doing this so his son has somebody.
He doesn't love Nisha.
No,
he's not into her.
He's not into her or anything like that. He's like just marrying her to marry her, and have like a mother figure for his son. So he's like, we'll ask her. And then he's like, yeah. So Prem knows, by the way. Prem knows, he overhears this. So he is all of a sudden like, oh shit, like,
He's sad, but I feel like he understands.
Yeah, he knows exactly why. So he puts his like love aside. Like he's gonna make a sacrifice and say, I'm not gonna say anything. They're gonna get married and that's it. So he doesn't say anything. So Nisha overhears the parents talk about getting married again, and she gets very excited. She thinks she's getting married to Brim. So then they start the kind of wedding ceremonies again, but they're kind of doing it very low key, kind of.
It's like sad. It's not like happy.
They're doing it much more low key than when Pooja got married. So I mean, granted, it's still pretty big when you look at the fact
it's kind of inappropriate, but
But at the end, it's still kind of more of a somber atmosphere. So they're getting married, and so the wedding cards coming, and she's getting her mehndi done or whatever, and Nisha's getting her mehndi done, and she's like, do you want, her cousin's like, do you want me to read you the wedding card? And she's like, yeah. So the cousin starts reading the wedding card, and she says, Nisha so and so getting married to Rajesh so and so, and Nisha's like, what are you talking about? Read it again, Dixit. And she's like, I am reading it right. So no, everybody knows she's getting married to Rajesh. Nisha's the only one that thinks she's getting married to Brim.
So effed up.
Right. So then her cousin reads it again and says Rajesh's name again. So she was like, she stops getting her mehndi done. She's like, hold on. She takes the card from her cousin and reads it. And she faints pretty much because she's like,
yeah,
the hell, I'm getting married to him. She faints and everybody's really worried, and they get the doctor or whatever there, and he's like, just don't stress her out or whatever, and that's it. And everyone's like, okay. And even Rajesh is like, this must be a lot for her, and we should really just kind of back off from her. And they're like, no, let's just.
And she accepts it too. Like she accepts it after a bit.
Up and she sees the baby, and and they oh, mind you, she doesn't faint right after reading the card. She runs downstairs to go find her parents. And she wants to talk to her mom. And, she's trying to find her mom, wants to talk to her mom. And people are like trying to stop her or whatnot. In the midst of that, she faints. Something happened. I can't remember exactly, but she faints. I don't know if it's just because of the situation, the stress, the baby, all of that, or what. But either way, she faints. So anyway, she gets up and she gives Bram a call, and Bram picks up. And, they start singing the song pretty much, which is like I think the Hum Aapke Hain Kaun song, the title song if I remember correctly. And so it's basically just them acknowledging to each other that I'm getting married to Rajesh, and Prem basically being like, I know you're getting married to Rajesh, and that's that, and you're gonna take care of the son, and there you go, that's it. And they basically accepted at that point that they're not gonna get married to each other, and nobody's gonna know that they were in love. The only person that knew that they loved each
With
other
Lalu.
was Lalu and Pooja, but Pooja died, and Lalu wasn't gonna say anything. Even though
So then
knew
wedding happened.
it was wrong. So then the wedding scene starts, and Pooja's getting and Lalu goes
Ready.
Yeah, Pooja's getting ready. Lalu goes to like the Bhagwan, and he's like, please do some sort of miracle, because this is wrong. And she's getting ready.
She writes a letter,
and
right?
She writes a letter. So Nisha is writing this letter with the necklace, because the necklace that Pooja gave Nisha was supposed to be a token to Bram's wife. So she gives that necklace. So she writes a letter to Bram, who's basically like, listen, my sister gave this in hopes that your wife would wear it one day. Clearly this is not for me, so I'm giving it back. And she writes this, and she puts it in like a little like cloth or whatever with the letter, and she gives it to Duffy. And she's like, Duffy,
Freaking dog.
Yeah, the dog. She's like, Duffy, will you give this letter and necklace to Bram? So then she's like, thank you, or whatever. And the dog goes running out. Meanwhile, the song Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna,
Oh yeah.
because Lulu's doing this prayer that you please do some miracle and stop this. Meanwhile, this genius ass dog goes downstairs, and
Genius ass dog.
he goes downstairs, and he sees Prem playing with the baby. And in the meantime, mind you, the entire time you hear Radhe Krishna, mama, and the dog is looking back and forth, and he's like, do I go to Prem or do I go to Rajesh? Do I go to Prem or do I go to Rajesh? Something ticks in that dog, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to go to Rajesh. So instead, he goes to Rajesh with the letter and the necklace. So Rajesh takes this thing out of Duffy's mouth, and he's like, what is this? And he opens it up, and he sees the necklace, and he knows what that necklace stood for and the letter. So he reads the letter, and he is like, what the hell? So he goes upstairs, and he brings Prem with him. And
you think he's mad?
Yeah, you think he's mad. He's like, what are you doing? And
they're scared.
They're scared because they're like, oh shit, he saw the letter. He knows,
our love.
The love and all that. And then the family comes upstairs, and they're like, Rajesh, what are you doing up here? What are you guys doing up here? So he shows the letter to everybody. Everybody reads it, and they're like stunned because
they didn't know.
Nobody knew that they loved each other. Pooja and Nisha and Brim. And so, Rajesh asks everybody, he's like, would Nisha have been a less of a mother if she was his mom as an aunt? Like, why can't she remain an aunt and be his mom and take care of him? And he like looks to a picture of Pooja, and he's like, do you see what they were about to do? And then he goes, he tells the picture, he's like, that's what you wanted to tell me that day in the hospital, but I didn't understand what you were trying to tell me.
Yeah. Oh.
And so then they get
so
married.
Sad. Then they get married, but it ends on such a sad note.
Yeah. And it ends on Diktana again.
And, oh my god, it does Diktana again?
Yeah.
Why is that the main song of this damn movie?
No, but it ends on Diktana again.
Is the Radhe Krishna, is that Mujhse Juda Hokar song?
Oh my god, I forgot that song. Mujhse juda hokar तुम्हें दूर जाना है.
मुझसे जुदा होकर तुम्हें दूर जाना है. पल भर की जुदाई फिर लौट आना है. साथिया संग रहेगा तेरा प्यार. साथिया रंग लाएगा
What song is
That's
that
like when they
from?
were leaving the next day.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
after
Okay,
Mine
that's a
Mine.
song.
That's a song. As if we don't need any more songs to go here.
But there's Hum Aapke Hain Kaun for you guys.
Oh my god. That's the longest breakdown we've had so far.
Boy, oh boy.
Doing Lagan.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we're doing Lagan.
No.
Are we doing Lagan?
No, we cannot. That is such a long movie.
Oh god. But that was a good movie. I liked it. Thanks, Samrah.
No
that was
problem.
Samrah, you did a great job for just memory.
Thanks. It
that
was-
is a lot to remember. That's so
Clearly, Samrah has seen this movie a
I
billion
told you
times.
guys, I've seen a bunch.
The hard thing about this movie is that it's so funny, and then the end happens, and you just end on a sad note.
Yeah, that really actually. That's why the movie really gets you each and every single time. It's not.
You can't really watch it enjoyably. You have to stop it before she dies.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
It's like two different movies at that point then.
It really is. It's like, oh, it ends, and they're gonna get
It's
married.
a hard left turn. It just really does. But then, like we said, the movie's kind of plotless until that point happens, though.
It's just like happy-go-luckiness of like their lives. It's like Hum Saath is pretty plotless the entire time.
Yeah, most of Rajesh movies kind of are.
Yeah, I mean, look at Viva too, plotless.
And then bam, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big old plot happens in the last 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Maybe it's a trend that he does. Maybe like that's the style.
That's definitely a style. Manny Pyarki is the same way.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
Anyway. Well, yeah.
on that note,
On that note. What a great way to segue there.
follow us on Bob and Friends at Instagram and Twitter at Bob and Friends, and on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Bob and Friends. Rate us and review us on Google Play and Spotify and iTunes at 4 to 5 stars.
You don't do anything lower.
5 stars.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Hey!
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.